Is your system working for you, or are you working around your system? The bottom line is you shouldn't be succeeding in spite of your software. We'd like to introduce Foundant for Community Foundations, an integrated suite of products made just for community foundations. Here's how it works. Imagine all the functions within a community foundation. There's fund accounting, donor management, online funding, events management, and CRM. CommunitySuite is a complete software solution for all of these areas and integrates with your grants and scholarship management solutions. This is all created by a company with over a decade of experience partnering with the philanthropic community. It's also cloud-based, so all of your stakeholders and staff can access the system whenever they want. All you need is an internet connection and access to a browser, and you'll have accurate information at your fingertips. Let's start by looking at the system through the lens of the development staff. Your donor development staff will be spending a lot of time using the CRM, or Constituent Relationship Management features in CommunitySuite. One of the most important features they'll be using is profiles. You can create individual, household, and organization profiles. Let's search for a profile that's already in the system by typing in the last name Potts. We can see that Pepper shows up as an individual and as part of a household. When we click on Pepper's profile, we can see relationships she has, different opportunities she's tied to, notes, and if we update any of this information about Pepper, the changes we make will automatically be made system-wide. You can even create your own coding fields. This is helpful if you're trying to determine who you should invite to certain campaigns, events, or ask for a major gift. Based on these coding fields, let's create a list. We'll add anyone whose profile type is advisor, and anyone who has donated in the last year. We can add the profiles in this list to a specific opportunity, or we could even associate our profiles with a campaign. Campaigns in CommunitySuite are really the catch-all for any list that you need to be calculating ROI on. Campaigns can have tickets, donor lists, and it's all integrated with MailChimp, so you can even send out mass mailings. Your development staff has all the tools they need to create the relationships, opportunities, and trust with your community stakeholders. Now let's put on our donor services hat. In donor services, we get to reap the benefits of bringing in donations. A lot of donations coming into CommunitySuite will be collected and recorded automatically because they can come through an online donation portal. Donations can be reoccurring, imported into the system, or they can be manually created in your organization. When we start to manually enter a donation from Pepper, we can associate it with the pledge that our development team worked so hard to receive. What type of donation was it? Was it a check, cash, public security? All of the pieces of CommunitySuite are built to ensure that you're capturing the right information for your accounting team. Finally, you can send tax receipts directly out of the system, or even print them out. Along with all the debits, credits, and transactions happening in the back end of the system, you can also have a public version of CommunitySuite. The public version can be branded how you see fit. You can change the colors, logos, look, and all the information to make it truly feel like it's part of your website. When people come to the public version of CommunitySuite, they will have multiple options. Most likely, your stakeholders or community members are going to be coming to donate to an online fund. CommunitySuite makes the process of finding and donating to a fund as quick and straightforward as possible. People can also browse your grant catalog, where they can learn about other nonprofits in your area seeking funding. Include pictures, categories, and detailed descriptions to give your grant some life. Let everyone see how much funding is being requested, and what's been funded so far. People can also buy tickets to events that you've set up in your campaigns, and access a directory of the nonprofits you work with. Once your community members have completed their giving, learning, and event shopping, they're able to check out directly from your website by clicking Checkout. Security is our main focus. That's why we've integrated with the leading credit card processing company Stripe to ensure the information being collected is secure and not being stored in your system. In the past, donations like this have been a necessary evil because of the manual work it takes to gather the information, record the donations, send a receipt to the donor, update the funds, and so on. CommunitySuite streamlines this process for everyone involved. Once a donation has been made, your donor development staff will be able to instantly see the donations that came through the online system. In donor services, you also work with fund holders. Fund holders can have their own login to CommunitySuite. When they log in, they choose the fund they want to look at and immediately see their current balance, their spendable balance, statements, files that have been shared with them, and much more. You have control of what you want each individual to see. For example, you may want to give only certain users the ability to make grant requests. When making grant requests, users can see organizations they've given to in the past. They can search both your foundation and GuideStar for grantees, or they can manually enter a grantee. Just like the public-facing webpage, your donor services team will automatically get notified as these requests come in. And to make things even faster, they can validate the grants by running a GuideStar charity check in the system, so you can get more grants out the door. Next, let's look at the system through the lens of our program staff. They will be spending the bulk of their time in Foundant's community grants and community scholarship solutions. These tools are made to allow your organization to build online applications, as well as allowing your external evaluators to engage in your grant-making process. We'll just briefly look at how these systems integrate with CommunitySuite. If you want to find a full demo of these solutions, go to Foundant.com. In Community Grants, we'll go through our decision-making process. We can set up a payment schedule, assign follow-ups, add comments, and then sync all of this information with the click of a button. Switching back to CommunitySuite, we can now see all of this information by clicking on the Grants tab. From here, we can not only set the grantee, creating a profile that talks with CommunitySuite's CRM functionality, but also associate the funds that will be paying the grant. Next, let's take a look at CommunitySuite from an accountant perspective. By clicking on Accounts, you get your customizable chart of accounts. Want to see your unlimited funds and all their attributes? Click on Funds. Want to grab your balance sheet or your income statement? Go to Financials. Click on your balance sheet and choose the custom time frame. If you want to get more details on any of these areas, you can drill down further by clicking on each and every item in blue text to find what you're looking for. For instance, let's say I want to know more about Stripe. I can go ahead and click here and immediately see all the transactions that have come from online. Another important feature for your accounting teams is admin fees. When creating admin fees, your organization will be able to create the fund fee structures that are important to you, whether those are laddered fee structures, percentages of donations, short and long-term fee structures, or even permanently restricted fee structures. After you divide the details of each fee, you can sit back and let the system do all the complicated calculations dividing those fees to your given funds. Similar to admin fees, we can also run revenue share. The revenue share tool allows us to allocate gains and losses from an investment pool. We can calculate the daily balances, admin fees, interest, dividends, investment fees, and more. After everything that affects your general ledger has been processed, you can close the books and send out your fund statements and financials individually or in batch in a way that makes sense for your organization. Lastly, let's take a step back and look at some of the more big picture elements of CommunitySuite that are important for your IT and executive teams. From a security standpoint, it's important to point out that you can create custom permissions for all of your users within the system. Not only can you determine what people can see and do within the software, but every action that is taken is also being logged within the system. At Foundant, we don't believe in user limits. Your entire team has access to the system, and it's up to you to decide what that access looks like. Whether it be a full administrative view where they can see every single feature, or a much more limited view, so different individuals see only the areas they need to worry about. Having your entire foundation and all of your data under one roof enables you to get the quick and accurate answers you need to serve your community. Visit Foundant.com to sign up for a personalized one-on-one demo to see a much more detailed look at how CommunitySuite could work for your team.